What's poppin', peeps? Welcome back to episode 12 of the Peep Lounge, where today our guest, sitting at over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube as well as 6,000 listeners on Spotify, he's considered the sauciest dude in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Black Diamond.
How y'all doing today?
You're Mr. Black Diamond. How are you doing today? I appreciate you hopping on here and being a part of the Peep Lounge, taking time out of your busy, at least I would expect busy schedule to be a part of the people.
Yeah, bro. I've definitely been busy.
Yes,
Nothing
sir.
short of it.
Yes, sir. And that's hey, you're grinding though. You grinding. That's what matters at the end of the day. But like I said, I appreciate you being a part of this. I can't wait to chat it up with you, BS a little bit, ask you questions, pick your brain a little bit. But I like to normally start these off by kind of the same way for everybody, because I like to hear everybody's kind of like origin story. Like, how did you stumble across? Like, how did you get into music? And more importantly, how did you get into stumble across Nerdcore as a community? And how did you start making music within the community? And just kind of your origin story a little bit.
My origin story is not a pretty one. It's actually stupid as fuck. Bro, I was in high school. I was in 10th grade, and I had a bunch of friends that we used to get laptops at our school.
Oh, yep.
And so we used to record on GarageBand, and I had a bunch of buddies that I used to hang with, and we basically they were dissing each other and uploading it to Tumblr for people in school to hear. And they were getting into beefs where they was just airing each other out, and then it became them beefing with the upperclassmen, because we were in 10th grade, and then there was some rappers in 11th and 12th grade, so they were dissing them. So when the disses got bad, we used to all be at each other's house, and they're like, "Yo, Ryan, I need a verse, bro," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't rap, bro. What do you mean?" And I'm just they're just like, "Bro, come on." I'm like, "All right, I'll write something." So I wrote some shit, bro. Just some regular shit was coming at some people, and then I recorded it, bro. They uploaded it to the fucking Tumblr, and the next day, people just kept coming up to me, was like, "Yo, you rap?" And I was like, "Nah, dog. I'm just fucking, I'm just dropping verses, bro.
I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around.
I'm just playing around with my homies and shit." And he was like, "Yo, this shit sounds good, bro." And I'm just like, nah, it sounds terrible. I don't even rap. And then I guess we just never stopped.
Yeah.
Just kept going. We were just bullshitting throughout making songs. So then when we all got tired of beefing with each other, I actually just kept writing and recording just as a hobby. And then one day I just performed somewhere, and I started performing left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me want to have better songs to showcase when I perform, because for some reason I was never nervous to perform.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous to have bad music. So it just spun out of control from there.
Yes,
As
sir.
far as Nerdcore, bro, honestly, Slick and I have been friends since 2019.
Oh, W.
And yeah, we kind of started Otaku Underworld at that time too, and we all just were a bunch of anime loving rappers.
Yes,
that
sir.
wanted to kind of find a way to implement it into what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we all started venturing out into this whole little path of trying to put together a collective, but something where we can push a wave. Slick had stumbled upon Nerdcore, and he started doing his music through Nerdcore. Mm-hmm. And me, I was kind of recording casually at the time. I had made a couple tapes and albums and put some shit on Spotify and SoundCloud and some shit on Bandcamp, and I kind of was just into making good music, not really giving a fuck who heard it.
Yes, sir.
Slick was like, "Yo, bro, you've been putting anime clips in your songs for a minute, and your shit's fire. You should try some Nerdcore shit." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "What the fuck is Nerdcore?" And he showed me a cipher, and honestly, bro, I hated it. I just hated how it
was
sounded.
It a rustage? Was it a rustage cipher?
Yeah, bro, it was a rusted cipher.
I think
it
was it what the OG
and,
the Shonen Jump ones, or?
Bro, and it had nothing to do with what they were doing on there. It was the concept that just didn't like hit
Yeah.
me at first.
No, I feel that. I
And
feel that.
and then a couple. So then like eventually like I started editing my own videos. Like I was like I want to just kind of put some lyric videos out. So I'm gonna start downloading some anime clips, putting some songs together.
Yep.
And then Slick was like, "Yo, I want to like I need you to edit my videos because nobody in the community has your style."
Hmm.
So like it really just started with me editing his videos and then seeing how they were doing and then starting to feature on his Nerdcore songs and then seeing how they
Oh,
started doing and then
got
next thing I know I started having fun with that shit cuz truth be told when he kind of hit me with that I started getting tired of like reflective rap like kind of just always talking about where I am, what I'm
you. Hmm.
doing, who I'm with,
Yep.
what set I'm with like it started getting repetitive and fucking boring so like penning anime versus like posed the challenge that made music fun.
Yes, sir.
So then once I started doing that, Delta was in a collective too. So me and Delta started working together more. I started doing some anime songs with him and then like it just literally spun out of control. Like we did Worst Way. It ended up on the Schwabity stream.
Yes,
He
sir.
told me about like the Shiny Peso stream. I submitted like a music video. They was like, "Yo, this is like some dope new nerdcore shit." And so like once I started getting in that space and realizing like people was fucking with it, I literally just started like being like, all right, I'm about to bring my most creative side of me out to put these nerdcore songs together because like it's almost like an empty canvas now for me where I could just kind of make really good songs and theme them after things I really fucking love, which is
Exactly.
like that's why I have 3, 4 Luffy songs because I really fucking love Luffy. Like I would love to have a Demon Slayer song while Demon Slayer popping, but like my brain just don't work that way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I feel that. I feel that. But so and props to you too because I would say that you kind of like you've kind of found like your own kind of unique like sound in your own lane within the community where it's just like, oh, that's like you're easily recognizable, like, oh, that's Black Diamonds, that's and you kind of like stand out, and I feel like you kind of, like I said, you kind of got your own style. But
I
you
appreciate that.
you mentioned when you in your little origin story that you started performing live and how you did like you never got nervous performing live, and at least amongst members of the community, I feel like you got a lot more like live performance kind of experience. I feel like not a lot of people within like the nerdcore community really get that kind of live performing. Like there's a handful of people who are going around nowadays and performing a lot, but I still feel
Right.
like you kind of get a lot of performance reps. So it's just like how do you make? I think you touched a little bit on this if I remember correctly. Do you go like think of like whenever you're going into making a new track, do you always keep that in the back of your mind? It's like, oh hey, can I perform this song live?
Not every song. Like there's
Got you.
certain songs that I have the intent to perform live, but there's a lot that I can't because I have like really intricate flows and punch-in flows and
Got you.
me personally, like when it comes to performing, like I personally want to be able to say all the words. So like I
Mhm.
have songs like Hisoka where like there's a couple speed ups where I can get away with like speeding up my verse and not falling over on stage, you feel me? But like
Yeah.
at the same time too, it's like, I try to keep it in the back of my head. Like when I hear a beat and I'm writing, I already know like, oh, this ain't gonna be a performance track.
Yes, sir.
But for example, like I had a couple shows with the Zazas coming up too,
Yep.
like, and I wanted some more saucy, slower music because I do kind of get into my like fast, bouncy, techie flows.
Hmm.
So like I even made Shishi to perform,
Oh,
like
yep.
that Luffy song, and
Yep.
like and that's a song that I'm gonna start performing soon, and I want to implement that. But like I don't really like push that. I really started performing because when I started music, like that was the thing. You had to be polished,
Mhm.
not only on the microphone but in person.
Yep.
And one thing I could say about like our generation is like we have had the pleasure to transform with technology.
Oh, of
You know what
course.
I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yep.
so like when I first started loving music, they were talking about selling it out your trunk, and like kind of being locally hype and doing local like stages and stuff.
Hmm.
So especially when I got into music, like that was like the whole huge thing. It was like getting into local scenes, performing
Yep.
good music, and like having them hear you. Like, bro, I come from like like there would be a band there, and like halfway through my set they turned my music off because like they learned the chords and shit, and they just vibe with me, you know.
Yes, sir.
And so like I just come from a whole spot where like performing was
It's very
just
prevalent.
something that's just, yeah, it's real prevalent. Like everybody cared about that.
Yeah.
It was like music videos were great, songs were great, but like, can you rock a show? So like I come from that, and then even when I moved to Florida, like I didn't know what type of motion I wanted or how to get
Hmm.
out there. So I was like, yo, I'm about to just go to a bunch of bars with open mics and just be a fly on the wall and then write my name down at the end and perform after everybody. And then other people at open mics that were running them, they were like, yo, like I love your music. I want to hear you without backing tracks. And I'm like, say less. Like I've been doing that shit since I
Yes,
was
sir.
fucking 16, dog.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
you know, so like I love the challenge of performing because you can be as good as you want in the studio behind the microphone. You
Mhm.
can be great punching in when you got like the doll there to kind of make you sound good, but like it's
Mhm.
crazier to go in person and really share the song word for word
Mhm.
and have it be what it's intended to be on stage
Yep.
with a shitty mic versus a good mic, you feel me?
Yep. I feel it. I feel it. And like I said, it's cool hearing that kind of perspective because, like I said, it's just like not a lot of people within the community ever. I'm not gonna say they never get the opportunity. Like there's opportunities out there to perform live, but it's just like there's just
Right.
nobody that really like there's a handful of people who are constantly performing, but that's about it.
Yeah,
A-
that's true.
and so it's just like hearing that people's perspective on what it's like performing live, and any artist who might watch this later who wants to perform live and has never had the opportunity or just hasn't yet, just hearing that kind of perspective so they can kind of know like where to get
Yeah, bro,
started,
like
or like how
my
it is
I've
or
always been like super self-sufficient with things, so like
Mhm.
personally, like one thing, I don't like waiting for stuff. Like that's why, like if you ever see like me being a self-sufficient, like the artist, the video editor, like the person doing the music, writing the music, because I don't do the writer thing. So like, I'm very involved in the curation of my art.
Mhm.
So like when it translates to performing and finding shows, I'm the same way with that. So like perfect example, when I was coming up in Philly, it was open mics everywhere. And you end up in a bar, you end up in somebody's venue, you end up in somebody's like fucking like they have a garage they rent or something,
Mhm.
and you look these places up and you look up the ones in your city, you can hop on Facebook and look at events coming up. And you find out like, yo, a lot of these bars and clubs be having open mics. Bro, it's a strip club up the street from me. You go in there with $100 to throw while you on stage and you can perform.
Oh
And I
shoot.
found that out just by like hopping on Instagram and looking up hashtags like, St.
Mhm.
Petersburg open mic, Miami open mic, Tampa open mic. Just seeing who was throwing them, how often. I even was picking up the phone, calling some of these bars like, "Yo, you got an open mic? What days? Thursday nights at 7? All right,
Mhm.
cool, I'll be there." And
That's dope.
it's just out there, bro. Like you just gotta like hit the ground. Like if you want to look for something, they gotta promote it. So it has to be findable, you know.
Yeah. You got to be like proactive, and like you got to like be able to like recognize and find places that are just like,
Exactly.
and you got to like make those opportunities for yourself, because especially unless you're like a big name, nobody and correct me if I'm wrong, nobody's gonna like actively like seek you out. So
Exactly.
you gotta, at least getting started, you gotta like reach out, like you gotta do all the calling, you gotta like see where you can fit in, open, whether it be open mics or any. I know the people in our community perform at conventions, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera. So it's just like you got to reach out, because these guys might not even know of you, and they might be willing. You just never know
bro.
unless
I'll
you
tell
reach
you
out.
one thing. It might seem like, especially like, I mean, when people on Twitter, it's based on how much free time they got. You feel me? But sometimes I'm browsing Twitter just in my free time, and like I'm never too cool to go see a Twitter forum where they're like, "Yo, we got these like performance applications, and like you can apply for free, and you can post some links." It's like, yo, like fuck if I even get the slot. It's even good to just get in front of people. It's
Yes,
just
sir.
a way to get yourself out there, and even see like one thing I think that they did really good with the anime rap takeover is they got the community involved. They went on Twitch
Yep.
and then like they talked about it. They got constructive about it because it's like you might not be lit this year, but next year you might be a shoe in because you took our advice And not that, everybody online get the best advice, but I'm saying like you took our advice of polishing yourself and you didn't
Mhm.
take it personal, and you went and did a couple other shows and you started to feel it out. Like there's a guy in the community, and off the top of my head, I can't remember his name, but I've seen him at a couple Nerdcore events, and I actually got to see him perform live for the first time, like his first time, and like I was impressed by him
Was
on
it
the first
JK?
try.
Was it JK?
I think it was JK,
Yeah,
bro. Let me
yeah, because I
see.
think he recently was at like a convention or like an event, and he mentioned that was like his first time performing live.
Yeah, bro, that was him. And like I remember his set vividly to the point that was like a month and a half ago, and I'm
Hmm.
telling you this now, and it's like
Yep.
when you that's perfect right there. Like he it's a bar in a city
Hmm.
where it's all college shit, where they're constantly hosting anime events. This is the perfect place for you to be as a nerdcore artist for your first show. And just him being a first time performer, I could even see how eager he was to get on stage. And
Yes,
it's like
sir.
I can tell, like when you look for these things and you land here and you know it's your setting, like that's when you really shine the hardest. So like that's why I always encourage, we went to Texas and shit. Like, and I didn't know if that was gonna work.
Hmm.
If that was gonna be the crowd for us. We went to MomoCon, we went to NPC and met people. We didn't know if people were gonna walk up to us or anything. We kind of just stuck our necks out there, went, messaged people, seeing where people was at, and next, we chilling with everybody. And it's like, it's that level of sticking your neck out there and not being afraid to be like, yo, I seen like people perform at this venue. Like, how often did it happen? When is y'all next performance event? Like, who
Yep.
runs this? So, you just call, hey, you got open mics coming up? Most they're gonna tell you is no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I feel like a lot of people, even if like the worst that they can say is no, people are. It's almost like people are afraid of that word of being told
Yeah,
no. So it's just like you gotta like, not everybody's gonna say yes in every situation. Like, and whatever you do, whether it's content creation, whether you're a music artist, whether no matter what you do, you're gonna be told no with things, and you just gotta accept it. And it's just like and just keep trying, especially
facts.
especially if you're just starting to get into some. Just keep trying. Just you might get turned down 9 out of 10 times, but then you got that one time, and then after that one time, then from there it can kind of like branch off, and
Facts.
you can do more with
Facts.
it.
Exactly, bro.
Um.
It's just about just being available to that time too.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
being available to the time, like taking the time to get that shit done.
Exactly. And it's just like, I feel like, obviously as a I'm not a musician, so I can't really speak for it, but I just feel like just having having an opportunity to perform live on stage is like there's like a, I'm not gonna say it's a once in a lifetime thing, but it's just like it's a very it's a very cool thing just to have like that live kind of feedback in real time, to know that people are
Yeah,
rocking with your performance and your songs and how you are. I just feel like that's one of the coolest things as a musician to be able to have the opportunity to do, is to have that kind of just that crowd, like, and just like I said, that live kind of feedback in real time. So,
right, exactly. Bro, I think the craziest shit ever was that same show.
mhm.
I didn't even hear it because the shit's blaring in your face, like the
Yep,
the damn like the speakers and all that.
yep.
Bro, my wife like was filming the set in Gainesville, and like I heard people singing Fifth Chain back to me when we was in
Oh,
Texas.
that's
They was singing it
dope.
back to me, and like that's kind of like some of the first times I've ever had that happen without me being like, all right, guys, I'm gonna sing a song. My first chain combined the bad, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yep,
didn't have to set it up. It kind of just like was waiting for that, and like they was singing it, and I could
that's
hear them
dope.
off to the side more than I could hear myself. And that's when I started realizing, like, yo, I performed this in Gainesville before at a whole other event. Like it is important, it's just as important to be lit online and findable
Yep,
as it is to be have a great presentation in person. Like
yep.
music, every time you perform, it's a showcase. You showcasing yourself, your talent, you showcasing, your movement. It's like, yeah, you might hear me being smooth online, but like if you meet me in person, you might still feel the same because like
Yep.
it translates the same. You feel me?
Exactly. Yep. I feel you 100%. 100%. And
People connect the dots faster.
exactly, exactly. And then another thing, what obviously most people know you as the artist, the musician. But and I mean you're kind of popular in the other sense too, but like you're also what most some people know you as is an AMV editor. You also edit a lot of AMVs, and you mentioned it very briefly earlier when you were talking about Slick. Um,
Right.
and I've always been curious because you do both very well. And it's like,
Appreciate it.
how do you find that balance between? Because I feel like I see a lot of AMVs from you, like a lot of AMVs from you. So how do you like balance that time that you have for like AMVs? Like obviously, I'm assuming you take music as a priority, but like where? How do you
Right.
balance between the two of them?
Bro,
Where
me
you're not losing
personally,
your mind.
I'm always doing art, period. Like just in any sense. So
Mhm.
like AMVs is an extension of my art, but
Yep.
to be honest, I found a healthy flow with doing AMVs and recording. It helps me not burn out when I'm writing my music. Because I know like me personally, a perfect week would be for me to record each day and have a song at least started each day.
Mhm.
But just over the years of recording and wanting that song and just being realistic, it's like you realize that that song and wanting it is not a realistic thing.
Yep.
But one thing that is realistic with me is like I could sit still and do watch TV or I could sit still and make art. So like
Yep.
me personally, the balance comes from me just having a desire to create. And I know I can't burn my pen out or I don't want to burn my pen out.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I do switch to editing and making little TikToks and edits and shit or like even graphic design, you know, just like I love graphic design. I've always done these things and like even before music I've done those things and like not even just AMV editing but editing period, just
Yep.
editing things together. And so like I think the balance just comes from the desire to create, honestly.
And I feel that's incredibly dope, because you're just a creative as a person, where it's just like you're just always in that kind of zone where you always feel like you got to be creating, and it's like that's also like works wonders sometimes because, like you said, like if you feel like you're starting to get burnt out of doing one thing, you can easily switch focus and work on another thing for a little bit, and then you can always come back to whatever you were doing originally. So you can kind of
Yeah,
like you can
exactly.
kind of like bounce around. It's just like you're always doing something where it's like you're always being kind of productive with it, but at the same time you're not like burning yourself out of doing one individual thing. So that's really cool that that's how you go about it. It's just like, oh, if you ever start feeling like that, you can easily just switch your focus up a little bit.
Right.
But how did you like?
Yeah, and I mean with pens, like with writing too, like that shit. Sometimes I don't have the words
Yeah.
in my head, you know. So it's like it just makes it easier to click over and do something else rather than just try to break my head over the one thing.
Yeah, and I feel like because a lot of people, once they hit that block, whether it be a music or content creation, once they hit that, run into that wall where it's just like they're burnt out, or they're just at like a roadblock. A lot of people will kind of like force themselves to keep pushing, and then that kind of
Yeah,
makes them burn out even more. And so having that wherewithal to know is just like, hey, like I need to take a step back. I'm gonna switch focus up a little bit, and then I can easily come back, and just being able to recognize, having the ability to recognize, when, when is it time to like switch up and stuff like that. So you don't run into those kind of situations is smart, and it's a good way to like maximize like the time that you use. So big ups to you, and like I said, you're very talented at a lot of
I
things. So
appreciate
it's just
that.
like that was one of the things I was like looking forward to talking to you about, because it's just like you make it like you do all these things. Like I said, I see your AMVs everywhere. You're constantly dropping music. I know I knew you dabbled in like graphic design. I know you done a bunch of graphic design stuff, and it was like I struggle just to wake up in the morning, man. So I was like, I was, I was, so I, so, so I was curious how like you balanced it
I'm
all
dead.
out. And it's just like just being able to like hear like your thought process behind all that. Cause like I said, you just on paper you seem like a very just like busy dude. And it's just like one of those things that I can't imagine how
I
busy.
feel like that shit keep me going, bro. Like I be bored. I don't like the normal shit. Like even like perfect example. Like I used to love sports, bro, and I just fell off. Like because I'm like, yo, I could think of better things to do in my 3 hours. You
Yep.
know, like
Yep.
it's my whole night. We work and shit. We work most of our day, and it's like I have a family I like to give time to when I can. So it's like I really like to split my time between
Mhm.
shit, but at the same time too, like it's hard for me to fucking sit still. So too, so
Absolutely.
like me and my wife be watching TV and I'm running Honkai on the game under the TV, you know, like it's little shit like that. I just
I
got
love it.
ADD. It's just
Oh,
I'm all over the place.
I feel that because I'm the same way too. Where it's just like I feel like I have really bad ADHD as well. Where it's just like if I'm watching something, whether it be anime or just a TV show or whatever, like I'll always have like a game also pulled up, and it's like it's crazy because I can still pay full attention to what's going on like around me,
Facts.
but it's just like I just need like I can't sit still. Like if I just sit here,
I
like
almost can
I'll
absorb the show better. Like when the
exactly,
shit, when I'm
exactly.
doing
It's
something.
weird how it works, but it's just like if I can't sit here and just like watch something without like doing something. So it's just like I
For
feel
real.
like I always
Bro,
have that
even with
urge to do
food,
something.
I don't even touch like my plate. Like if we're gonna watch something, I don't touch my plate till it's running.
That's I'm the
Uh,
same
Bro,
way.
if
I'm the
that shit's not
same
start,
way.
my food will get cold. I will be
I
pissed,
do
and
not
it
care if I
has
have
to
to wait
run.
15 minutes because a lot of times I'll grab a bite to eat and I'll come sit at this little desk here and I'll pull up like a show or a random YouTube video. It's just like I will not take a bite out of this until I find
Until this
something.
ad is
And
over. Yeah.
until it's something's going. Oh, dude, I thought I was crazy, but I'm glad to know that
Bro,
there's
nah,
some.
cause it's like when it starts getting good, you have nothing. You know, it's like
Mhm.
fuck. I ate all my food. It's like
Exactly.
being at the movies and eating your popcorn too fast. You know.
Yeah, dude, and it's dude, I'm so glad there's somebody out there who has that kind of exact same
Yo,
kind of
it's little. It's the little shit. It's the little shit. I'm
absolutely.
telling you. I
Um,
swear.
but to switch kind of topics a little bit, and you kind of mentioned it here a couple minutes ago. But there's one thing I know me and you are kind of like polar opposites a little bit. I want to say polar opposites, but we do have one thing in common, and that's gotcha games. Uh,
Gotcha
you
games.
got motherfucking gotcha games for the people who aren't aware of what gotcha games might be. That's a good thing. Uh, if you're not aware, but it's pretty much just
Yes,
it's
please save
games
your
that
money.
it's
Save yourself.
it's pretty much games designed to rob you of all your money. In particular, what we're gonna be talking about is kind of like your Genshins, your Honkais, like all that kind of jazz. But
Here we go.
how did you stumble? It was Genshin like your first gotcha game? Like how did you
So
get
like
like how
my
did you get
first
into it?
gotcha game officially where I was old enough, had money, was constantly putting it in was fucking Dokkan, actually. I
Oh, I
played
have a bunch of people
Dokkan
who
for
play
like
that. Yep.
oh my god, bro. Like I'm talking like I would have like house parties and like after a while, like and we all lit up.
Yes,
I'll be in
sir.
the corner with my girl, like, yo, I'm lit, ain't I? She be like, yeah. And then she'll look at my phone, and I am halfway through like the tournament, like right now, and like, bro, like that's my shit. And that's when I started trying to wish on characters.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and I was buying dragon stones. Then I stopped, and I was just playing like replaying Kingdom Hearts and Pokemon, and playing
Hmm.
some of the new Pokemon.
Yep.
And honestly, bro, the funny thing is, has told me about Genshin, and like everybody in my group chat was like, "Yo, this game's coming out called Genshin. It's free.
Yep.
It's dope, and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
Dude,
I
I
guess I'll
played it
try
before
it,
it got popular, bro. I was playing that on
I
release.
played it day three.
I
I
played it
played it day three
release
after
day,
release.
and it was just like
Has told me about it. I downloaded it, and when I played that shit, bro, I never stopped playing. Like Has and all them fell off, and I'm like, yo, y'all really not playing this? This shit lit, dog. Like I had got all my like my in real life homies, like not my rap homies and
yep,
shit, but
yep,
I got all of them on Genshin, and they don't even play games like that. So then I got them running that shit, bro. Oh my
yes, sir.
god, dog. Like
Dude, it's
Genshin has become
crazy.
culture.
It
Like it's crazy.
it's crazy, and it's just like when I started playing Genshin. I don't play it anymore because I cherish and I like my life. But sorry, that's kind of like my running shtick where I hate Genshin now. But when I first got into it, I was completely like unaware, like I knew like of games that would kind of do that, but I was completely unaware that it was like this whole like kind of genre of game. And so I went in there thinking there's well, first off, I thought it was like a straight up rip off of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh,
Bro,
but
did you know they use the same engine?
yeah, no, oh, 100%. But then I started getting, it's like, oh, cool, they have all these characters, and I was like, how do I get these characters? Oh, I have to spend money. I was like, okay, I'll spend a quick 30 here, whatever, blah blah blah. But
But
then
have
that,
you ever realized like you've downloaded phone games in the past that like
yep,
they got like there was a paywall somewhere there?
yes,
I feel like we've always played gotchas. It's just it didn't hit us.
and
Like
yeah,
I didn't know
they didn't
what they were
process.
until I played Genshin.
Yes, sir.
Honestly.
Because I know that there's a bunch now. Like I know, like Peso is into like Cookie Run, which
Yeah,
is a which
fucking
is a
Cookie Run.
yes, sir, Cookie Run. And then you got Dokkan. I know a couple of people who still play that. And
Shout
it's,
out Otaku God.
but it's just like there's so many out there, and it's just like you don't like gotcha games are so prevalent, and it's just like you never like truly like realize that they're just kind of like it's like almost every mobile game's a gotcha game nowadays. But then you got like I
Yeah,
said,
true.
like your bigger projects like your Genshins, your Honkais, your Wuthering Waves, your just all those bigger, more kind of open world exploration kind of
Yeah,
vibes.
bro. I even played like World Seeker, the One Piece open world game. I played that shit and got the DLC. It's a really good game, but it's just not online though. It's like a one player open world, but that shit fun, bro. So fun.
Is that on PC?
You might can get it on. You can definitely get it on PC. I played it on P4 when it first came out.
Bet I'm gonna have to look into it because I like One Piece. But
Yeah, it was a great game, bro. You might fuck with it, and it's no gotcha system involved. It's really just like a open world type
oh, so
thing.
it's not
You
even
unlock
gotcha.
skills. Nah, it's not a gotcha at all. It's just
Oh,
open
bet.
world.
So I
See,
don't have to
bro,
worry about
my
my
thing with
wallet.
gotchas, I fell over there by accident because I'm actually
Yeah.
like Kingdom Hearts is a game that changed my life,
Mhm.
and like I feel like we all feel that way. Everybody that's played Kingdom Hearts,
Yep.
and so every game that comes out that has a remote feel of that game, I'm just over there. So like Genshin always felt like co-op Kingdom Hearts, and I just remember all the time I had to keep switching the controller with my homies because Kingdom Hearts was never two player.
Mhm.
So like playing Genshin was like co-op Kingdom Hearts for me and my friends. We farming bosses together. We getting weapons. We building characters. Like same shit, with the AP points and everything.
Yes, sir.
So even with Genshin and I mean like I gotta admit like since Wuthering Waves came out, I definitely slowed down.
Yep.
But Wuthering Waves too, it just reminds me again of Kingdom Hearts.
I
Just all reminds
here's
me of like a Kingdom Hearts experience.
I've actually have never played Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, you're
I
missing out.
do I know I'm missing out. I haven't there's a lot of like classic video games that I haven't played that I need to definitely get myself caught up on. But
We might have to end the interview. I don't know if you
that's
peeing that, bro.
crazy. That's wild.
Like, look at my VTuber. Look, like I don't know, bro. I don't know about
But
that one, buddy.
we can't
No.
talk about gotcha games and without asking how much have you spent total on gotcha games?
Here we go. Here we
Do
go.
you have a ballpark, or do you just happen to have an exact amount somewhere?
I don't. My wife's in the vicinity of me, so I don't want to talk about how much I spent on gotcha games. Just know, she's come home sometimes. And, we're talking bills and shit, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I spent 100 on the van." And bro, there's been times, bro,
Oh,
that
that's
I have
crazy.
literally like me and all my fucking homies jump on Discord. Like there's like 8 of us, bro. We're fucking throwing money at banners, and everybody gets the character but me. So I can't really mention to my wife like, yo, I definitely threw 75 in here because I'm not running around with the new character. I'm running around with like more materials that she can't see. So I'm just like, fuck,
Uh,
bro. So like
Dude, it's
a
just like,
lot.
and it's
Like
just
I
like,
keep up with battle passes. I
oh,
buy
I'm the same way. I'm the same
I
way.
buy the little 30-day pack that
Yep.
gives you the 90 fucking shit daily. And
Yep.
then I do that for Genshin, Honkai, and fucking Wuthering Waves.
Yep. And it's just like,
So I just make sure I got battle pass for materials. But that's like 30 a month. Characters come out, I'll probably throw like 100 at it. Like just to make sure I get them.
And it's
And that's like
crazy.
every 40 days, so it's not that bad. It's not.
Oh, mine's
It's
bad.
not. It's not that bad.
It could be a
Yeah.
lot worse, is what he's saying. It could be a lot
Not
worse.
recently.
But I will say, with those kind of games, it's crazy how like unaware like how much you like truly spend until you like go back and like self reflect and truly think about how much. Because I did the math, and I don't know anymore, but at that time, I can say, and I said this in a previous Peep Lounge. I think it was literally the last one with Golden. But I spent over $3,000 on Genshin.
3,000. I don't know if I reached that far again.
Three
I probably like just
thousand,
hit the 1,000
and
mark,
it's
like
one of
for
those things.
4 years of multiple characters that I've wanted, like Ayaka and Raiden,
Yep,
Hu Tao, all them. Like I could definitely say I hit the 1,000, but I don't know about three, my boy.
dude.
Who you got, C6?
I got Zhao
Who
C6,
you got,
but hey,
C6?
we're not gonna talk about it. I got Zhao C6, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Ciao, and I bet you don't even use him anymore.
No, I don't play Genshin anymore, but he was my main. But
Oh,
but it's one of those things
3 grand, don't even play no more. That sounds like
that.
sounds like more ammo for me on the timeline. So it sounds
Whoa,
like
but now I got more money. Now I got more money at my disposal. Thank you very much. But it's just like it's so hard to like explain to people who are unaware of like what you're doing in gacha games, like what wishing is.
yeah, bro.
And so it's just like, oh, why did you
Gambling
spend $100 in the game? It's like, oh, I was
because
trying to
I'm
pull this I'm
gambling.
trying to pull this character in games. Like, why can't you just get him?
And I
Like,
didn't
because you
get
have
the
to.
weapon, so like I might spend another 100 in 2 weeks. Like that's the type of bullshit I used to be on. Like
And
I
it's
got the character, the banner gives me 3 weeks. I
well,
got 2. I was at work, like how much overtime I gotta do to get this motherfucker like on some shit. I love my
and
fucking gotcha games, bro.
oh,
That shit
I'm the
goes
same.
crazy.
I've and here's the thing, because I'm absolutely terrible at just games in general. Like I've been gaming my whole life, but I'm just absolutely terrible at them. Like no matter how much I play them, I can never get good. Like any of like your FPS shooters, like your Call of Duties, your Apexes, Fortnites, all of those. For some reason, no matter how much time I put into them, I'm always ass. But you want to know what
Damn,
the games
bro.
I am good
I
at?
pick
The
up
games I
quick.
could
I
pay
hate
money
that.
for. I have to pay
Yeah,
money for
cause
everything. Gotcha games.
you know what sucks though? This is how gotcha games get you, and then we can move on from there. Gotcha games really get you, bro, because you can wish and buy the motherfucking character all you want,
Mhm.
but you still need the time, energy, materials, and the fucking ability and organization of a fucking like
And they make you feel like you got to come
realtor.
back every day
Yeah, bro.
so you can
Like, oh
collect
my,
all every
like,
day's new
dog.
rewards. And
Thank God Honkai like has everything open. Cause Genshin, it'd be Tuesday and I'm like, all right, tomorrow Wednesday, I gotta get these talent books, and I wake up on Thursday and I'm like, fuck, like shit, I missed the day.
it's just
So
that
like, you literally
FOMO. It's
have to
that
have the
FOMO.
schedule of a fucking realtor to play Genshin and
Yeah,
keep up with that shit. You
yeah,
feel me? Like
absolutely.
it's not for the weak. That's why I used to be like with my wife, like, babe, I really want you to play this game so we can co-op. And the further I got, the more I was like, you don't want to play this. You don't want to play this. This ain't the game.
Yeah,
This
never
ain't the
mind.
one.
Never mind. Never mind. We'll get him. We'll get him next
I'm
time.
here, but I'm trapped. I'm in Pinacone right now. I'm kind of trapped, and
Oh
I'm
shit.
disassociating hard as fuck right now. So like,
Uh, but before we go in debt even more just by talking about gotcha games, let's kind of switch back. You mentioned this also a little bit earlier, but Otaku Underworld. Obviously,
Underworld.
for the people who aren't aware, who might not be familiar with Black Diamonds, Black Diamonds is a member of the collective Otaku Underworld,
Yes, I
with the
am.
likes
Yes, I
of
am.
Black Diamond, Sleepy Ash, or Slick Out. I don't know what he's going by nowadays. Callan
That's
B,
slick. That's
Delta
slick
D's,
ass.
and just a bunch of other just dope individuals, who make music or just in the music space. So I gotta ask,
Right.
how did your origin in Otaku Underworld begin? Like, how did you did you were you did you have any part of like the formation? Did you come in a little bit later? Like, how did you start in
I was in
Otaku
the.
Underworld?
So I am blessed to say that I was in the starting roster of Otaku Underworld. Like we all really just like put a group chat together. There's actually, believe it or not, like I don't know if you just like how far you are in the lore, but like Otaku God and this other artist named Paper Dragon at the time had an idea, and they had known like me, Slick, and Delta, and a couple other of us like Surveyed in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had known us all separately, and some of them was like, "Yo, I know other homies that kind of rap that I follow that
Mm-hmm.
do anime shit." So like we all kind of jumped in a group chat in hopes to like just collab and start like an anime rap wave, and we were completely oblivious to what Nerdcore was because me and Paper Dragon used to get off with like fucking anime memes and shit. Like most people that follow me because I used to post memes, and that's why now that I just post music all day, sometimes they don't pull up, but it's cause
Oh
but
shit.
whenever I post a meme, they show up. It's hilarious, but it's like, bro, like we came up just doing like cause my whole thing was I never knew how Twitter worked. So I used to
Oh,
just
yep.
try to make the funniest anime memes possible.
Yep.
And when them shit started like taking off, I would put my music under it.
I,
So
I
like
I do
a
see a
couple
couple of
people,
memes where it's just like, oh shoot, this blow up. I gotta promote. I gotta put my stuff in the fucking replies. So
yeah,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
exactly.
Yep.
And so like that was the formula I was going by, and they had seen that, and they was just like, "Yo, let's like jump in a group chat so that we can kind of push this shit and
Mm,
keep like making these songs and shit." So like even before I was thinking about doing nerdcore, like we kind of just wanted to be like a dope rap group
mm,
that made like anime theme songs and used like AMVs, completely oblivious that nerdcore existed or that like people like Megaran was out there and like people like Nem Raps and Nerd Out, like huge platforms like that just went straight over our heads. So like that's why I would say like Slick and Delta kind of like broke that door down into nerdcore and kind of came back with the results was like, y'all, we are literally eating over here, and it's like kind of what we're doing. And I think we can really make a different noise if we were to like jump into nerdcore and kind of
mm.
push our sound because we already doing it. We already
Yes, sir.
editing the shit. Slick used to produce. He had like anime beats and shit. So like we kind of already were doing that type of thing. We just didn't know what to name it. We just kept saying like anime trap, anime rap, anime
Yep.
style rap, and then we knew nothing about SEO either. So we were on the fucking other side of the internet, just like
Mm-hmm.
trying to get our shit off. So then once I started meeting the nerdcore people, it was like, oh shit, there is a formula to this, and not
Mm-hmm.
only is there a formula, but like there's a niche for it. And then oh shit, there's other people. Oh shit, people are living off of this. So like
Yep.
we kind of came in late, but like just to answer your question about Otaku Underworld, I am in like I am one of the first 10 people that were in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, some of the people you see now, like me, Slick, Delta, Otaku God, Callan, so we all were really there from the beginning. Like we really didn't play recruitment after that much, except for with like Dav D and Lord Death and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So you kind of always just kind of been with each other since the beginning. That's dope. That's dope. And like I said, Otaku.
Yeah, bro. Like even Rumble World, like I've known them since 2019 too. Like we all
Oh yep.
kind of we got like multiple group chats where we all kind of in talking and shit, and it's like
Yep.
we've all kind of like put our pens against each other. Pause. Whoa.
Oh,
Pause.
somebody clip it. Somebody clip.
Whoa. But like we kind of always had like a competitive pen in the group and shit. So
Of
like
course.
we always was throwing songs in the group and collabing and shit, trying to outdo each other. So like it all started with fun, and then most of us really started liking it a lot. So then we started branching off and doing the whole group shits and finding other artists and producers that did it and kind of carving our own little way. But Otaku Underworld established 2019, and we kind of just been like around each other ever since.
Hell yeah, dude. Like I said, Otaku Underworld is just filled with just absolute just talented ass musicians, artists. Like I said, yourself, Sleepy Ash, Callan, Delta, Dav D, and many more to be named that I can't remember at this time. But just like I said, just a bunch of talented members. And I would say you guys are probably one of like the more prevalent because there's a crap ton of collectives nowadays within
Right.
nerdcore, and I would say you guys have kind of been around. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say unless I'm not thinking correctly, I'd say you guys have been around for a pretty long time in the grand scheme of things in terms of collectives and nerdcore, and you guys are still Like I said,
Yeah,
you guys are still grinding. You guys are all doing your things. And so big props to not only you, but just everybody in Otaku Underworld as well. You guys are doing big
appreciate you,
things.
bro.
All doing big
Appreciate you,
things.
bro.
But
Definitely appreciate you.
of course. But okay, so it
You see, I figured my VTuber buttons out. I'm over here making faces at you and shit.
but but
We getting real interactive.
yeah, we're getting interactive up in here. But okay, so if you remember, I do this thing every Peep Lounge if
Okay.
people allow me, where I take to Twitter, X, whatever you call it, and I tell people, it's like, hey, I'm getting this person on the Peep Lounge. What kind of topics
Okay.
or what kind of questions do you want to see asked, or what kind of topics do you want us to talk about? And I got quite a few responses,
Oh
and
wait, this is on. Okay, okay,
so I'm
okay.
gonna go through a bunch of these, and then we can just I'll ask you the question. We can talk about the topic. We can just go from there. Okay. So with
All right, let's do it.
that being
Let's
said,
do it.
we're gonna start this off fantastically. Because this first one comes from
Oh,
Callan B. You're
oh, great. Callan asked the question.
I don't think you're gonna necessarily like this question. He said, "How tight are his braids?"
How tight are my braids? Callan. They're actually not tight at all, to be honest with you. I have like super curly hair, and to be honest, usually when my braids stay,
Ugh.
my braids stay like this, like I have trained my braids this way, like to lay long and
Yep.
to be this way, because like when I take my hair out, bro, my hair is like I need products to manage this shit. So
Oh,
my
I get.
braids aren't very tight, Callan. How tight are your dreads? I can see your scalp.
He okay, Callan. Hey, I wouldn't sit there and take that if I were you. That's just me though. That's just me though. But okay, so I wanted to get the little fun one out of the way, but this next one comes from another dope smaller artist that I've reacted to on my reaction streams.
Okay.
Comes from Jethro, and he asks, how does he get inspiration for editing, and how long does it take? Do videos take to edit? And he also said, "Much love, Chief."
I appreciate you, bro. Much love. My inspiration for editing, honestly, I'll give my secret away. I used to watch Toonami
Yes,
heavy
sir.
and Adult Swim. And one thing about me and my love for anime, and even if you see it in my Inuyasha songs, like I take very special care of my Inuyasha projects, and I like to bring Inuyasha in the mix a lot with music because not only was it an anime I actually had to try to watch, like I had to set alarms on like the old school radio to wake up
Yes,
at
sir.
5 if I didn't stay up, and like one night I was watching Toonami, it was Adult Swim, and it was a commercial for Inuyasha versus Bankotu. And there was this crazy, like at the time, I don't know if it was Flying Lotus at the time or if it was fucking Alchemist. I just know like all those different producers have done production on Adult Swim.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And so like I remember hearing this crazy ass like boom bap beat, and like the beat dropped as soon as Inuyasha and Bankotu clashed
Ooh.
swords. And like that was my first view of a AMV. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just like an anime commercial. So a lot of my inspiration for editing is the quick Toonami commercials for Dragon Ball Z and the commercials for Yu Yu Hakusho and those little mashups they used to do when they were like, this season on Toonami, we got Yu Yu Hakusho, Fully Cooley, we got Big O, and you would see the
Yes, sir.
mashup of the different ones. That's why, like, at one point I was putting sound effects in my AMVs because my earliest view of an AMV was Toonami and shit. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's why even like knowing somebody like Richie Branson is crazy to me because he's done work with them and it's
Yep.
like yo, like as a kid I was there, bro. Like I seen that shit.
Yeah.
Even growing up, it's just been a part of me, a part of things that like I like to do. I personally went
Mhm.
out of my way to participate in. So that's my inspiration for AMVs. Shit, how long do it take me, bro? Honestly, sometimes them AMVs you see that I upload, I've done maybe 3 hours prior to it going on YouTube. So like sometimes if I really lock in with the
Really?
idea, I can do it in 3 hours.
That's
Sometimes I
wild.
just gotta feel like doing it. Yeah, bro, I got a formula. So like You know, I know, like, especially with my editing style, since I've seen that I have my own style, it's easy. And now that I've done so many AMVs, I know the clips like the back of my hand. I know what
Oh,
episode where. I know how many punches I gotta pull from this scene, or like, oh, I remember this scene. It's got like 4 cuts in it. So like I'm very like brushed up on the material that I've used over the years. So it makes AMV editing like that much easier.
and it's one of those things too where it's just like you said, you've been doing it for such a long time that it's just like you know you've been through these motions over and over again, so it's practically muscle memory
Yeah, exactly.
at this point. And just, that kind of goes for everything too. Like when you first start something, it might be a little bit slower, but once you find that workflow and what works for you, literally you
Exactly.
can literally tackle things out at record times because you know your way around everything and you know exactly. And it's almost like one of those things too, because I don't know what you like. What you? I'm assuming you use like After Effects to edit, right?
Nah, I use Filmora.
Oh, you use Filmora?
Yeah, I use Filmora, bro.
Oh, that's crazy. I haven't heard any. I
From
haven't
the
heard Filmora
muscle.
in a while.
Yeah,
Um,
bro. I don't like with After Effects. I see how it works, but like just for my like burst workflow and like just
and that's where
me
exactly where
personally,
I was going.
bro, it works for me. Like it works for me, especially like how it works. It functions where I can even save like cool templates that I made. Like I told you I come from like Photoshop graphic design.
Yep.
I feel like Filmora kind of functions like Photoshop do in a way. Where like
Oh, okay.
my workflow is kind of similar because like when I open Photoshop, I don't ever have direction. I put a background and I just cook, and like I just kind of keep slapping shit together until I start to like it. And that's kind of how I do music and
Mhm.
editing and shit. You know, my workflow has to be like an empty canvas, and I'm just throwing paint at it basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's just like, and that's kind of where I was going. Where like you're so when you find that thing that you said you use Filmora, where it's just like now you're so it's like a muscle memory thing where now you can't switch at any point. So it's like if you have the ever have the opportunity to edit on a different application, whatever, you're not gonna do it because you know
Right. Well, I
you know
mean,
Filmora
I
like the
think
back of your
Phil
hand.
Moore is like this is my thing though too. Like my love for editing, bro. Like some people don't know. I learned how to edit AMVs on Windows Movie Maker. So like
Oh,
I've used every editor possible. Like when I was young, me and my little brother was 7 and 6. And like I would well, even when we were like, we just always watched like Pokemon
mhm.
shit, got Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yep.
By the time we was like 10 years old, we had computers, we had LimeWire and shit. I would go get all the little Naruto and Sasuke fights and shit
Yes, sir.
off of YouTube, and like the Rock Lee fights, and like when Sasuke fought Kimimaru, like when all that shit was just in Japanese and we didn't have the English version, but you could find it on LimeWire. We used to go looking for shit that nobody ever seen or that wasn't on TV yet, and find all these clips. And
Okay.
Busta Rhymes, like Busta
Yep.
Rhymes beats used to be crazy. So like if you ever see me edit a drill beat or like a song, like one of my drill AMVs, they
Mhm.
real intricate, and it's because I used to edit in Windows Movie Maker. I used to make the fighting scenes hit to the Busta Rhymes beats. So
Oh,
like, and I was 10. You feel me? So
I
you
was gonna say,
talking like,
I didn't realize you've been doing all this since like a super young age either.
yeah, bro.
Like
Like I just happened to have my mom's computer in the crib, and I used to just download shit on there when I
that's
was bored. And
wild.
I'm talking like I'll even give you a crazier one, and I don't mean to derail the questions, but
Oh, no worries.
I don't know if you know what sprite sheets are, but sprite sheets are like if you ever play like Sonic Battle or like some of the Game Boy games, it's all the little characters, the little chibis that are drawn like sprites,
Oh, okay. Yep.
like the pixel characters.
Yep.
They're called sprites.
Yep.
And basically I used to use this app called Fighter Factory when I was like 13.
Okay.
And there's a game engine called WinMugen, and it functions like Street Fighter. All the buttons are the same, but it's for keyboard gaming. It's like a split screen. Some
Okay.
of them were online. You could go look it up now and like get like a Naruto Mugen game, and it's a bunch of Naruto chibi characters. It kind of looks like a mobile game, but it's on the computer, and it's in Street Fighter style. Me and my
Damn.
friends used to make Sonic characters and rip sprite sheets from like Game Boy games and shit when I was like 12, 13,
What the
and
hell, bro?
to edit them so that they looked better when you were turned, like we used to turn Sonic characters into full-fledged Street Fighter character. Like my Sonic could turn Super Saiyan. Well, he would go Super, and then he would throw like a green Kamehameha with the Chaos Emeralds, you know. And we was like 13 doing this shit, and we was
That was
editing the sprites, so we had
crazy.
our own Sonic characters. So I learned Photoshop originally to keep up with my addiction to making like characters fight and like doing like flash animation.
That's wild.
So like,
You said this was at 13?
yeah, bro, because
I was still pissing in the bed at 13, bro. What the fuck?
I just happen to have like a love for art because I always used to draw and shit too.
Yeah,
So like, I wanted to learn Photoshop so I could have an identity as a creator that made games and shit. So I made like my own Avi. I made my thumbnail because at 13 I would go ask people, yo, can like how do you get this art? And they're like, I Photoshop, I use GIMP. I'm not making you shit. So like
bro. That's
even from
wild.
age 13 to now, like I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself then. So like even coming into Nerdcore, I'm kind of just using some of the shit that I used to love doing when I was a kid.
That's
Shit that
wild.
kind of stuck me to anime and manga and shit. You know, like doing
Yeah.
AMVs so me and my
Mm.
little brother can watch with the snacks. And then like come the graphic design. Like I used to make games, so like graphic design come from me making games and shit.
That's
So like
wild.
yeah, it's like I like if you really ask me, I'm really cheating. If you ask me, I'm fucking cheating. Cause some of these people learn these things
Uh,
to exist in this space, and I'm like, yo, I kind of was doing this shit. Like,
I've been doing
like
this.
I edited,
Like this
I've
is
edited
easy.
music videos on my fucking phone, and nobody can tell sometimes, you know. And like
Oh,
people,
absolutely.
it's like I do shit, you know. I've used iMovie, fucking
Oh, iMovie
Final
is
Cut Pro,
damn.
Final Cut X. I've used like Windows Movie Maker, Sony Vegas, and I did use now that you mentioned, I did use After Effects before. It's just it didn't stick. I don't
Yeah.
like the interface.
No, I completely
It's
get
like a
it.
rocket ship.
I opened up After Effects once, got super intimidated, never opened it again.
That should give you anxiety. And
Absolutely.
like you
There's so
know,
much
we talk about a
shit.
learning curve too. Like I used to use Reaper as a DAW,
Oh,
and I lost it because like the plugins I was using, they was dirty. They was dirty. So like you know I updated it. They picked up. I had to get Pro Tools and get all the plugins, bro. And
yep.
like I had to relearn like from like a basic user friendly app to like a fucking industry standard rocket ship.
Mhm.
You don't know how many phone calls I've made to Delta, Callan, and Asoff like in the night just trying to figure out how to record. Thank God I know how to do it now. But
Oh
like
yeah.
they've literally had to band together. Like what the fuck we gonna tell him? Like what we gonna tell him?
And that's super dope that you kind of have that kind of like support system to like help you out whenever like you can't figure shit out. But I also gotta give you props too because one of the things like I should have said this earlier, but just like you're almost like as a standalone artist in the scene, you're kind of like you said, standalone, where like you don't rely on other people. Where like somebody like a Daddy Fat Snaps, like yeah, he makes the music, but then he gets somebody to make the art, make the AMV, all that jazz, right? But you literally do everything all yourself,
Right.
which like I said is no easy feat to be able to have that talent to kind of do a little of everything and kind of so like you're the only thing that's holding you back at that point is yourself. You don't have to worry about other people, and especially in this day and age where it just seems like people like editors in the community are being exposed for using like other people's stuff, or it's just like just stuff like that. You don't have to worry about any of
Right.
that because you do your own stuff. So I got to give you big props on that too for
I
having that
appreciate
ability to
that.
do all that, because that's super dope. And I
Yeah,
wish I
bro. I
could.
feel like everything, especially like in the age we live in, like I said, we grew up regardless if you was outside in the house, whatever, everybody grew up around a computer at some point.
Yep.
And like one thing I've learned is that you can find a lot of information on this shit, you know, and
Yep.
like when people say the information is out there and they're like, I don't know where to look. It's like, bro, you gotta really dig in and see where not to look so you know where to look. You know,
Yep.
you gotta land in a bunch of fucked up places and weird websites before you find the shit that work.
Hmm.
Or just like I say with music, you can't be afraid to suck. Like you gotta
Absolutely.
suck to know what sounds good. You gotta hear your voice at its worst so you know what not to do again. You know, it's like a trial run thing. So
Exactly.
like even just with editing, like I just always knew what I wanted to look like and how I wanted it to be.
Mhm.
And I sat back and thought of music like on just like it's such a subjective thing, but I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
about it on a logic sense, and I'm just like my approach to the world as an artist, if I don't learn how to do it, is always controlled by somebody's time, energy, or desire to do
mhm. Yep.
it. And if you get like somebody that don't got enough time, like one thing I could say with AMVs that's fucked me in the long run, I care so much about my art and me as a brand and me as a business for AMVs too. I care so much about the presentation of it, even in the art, that I might stay up till 4 a.m. and I didn't have to. So an AMV might take me 6 hours because I wanted that specific clip. When somebody said like my hands are running with anger, I want the clip with their hands bleeding. Like
Yep.
I take the extra mile because even if it's a commission, it's still like a reflection of me. You feel
Yep.
me? It's still an extension of my art. So I treat commissions like my own music,
Yep.
and that's why like I try to be as communicative as possible, like with people and like with AMVs and like Omega and Ty. Like in the past, I've told them like, yo, I do not want to do X-Men AMVs, but I've actually found like a little flow with them with those things, and like
Mhm.
I can actually tell a different story, and it kind of feels good. Where I'm like, I could do music videos and shit and
Yep.
AMVs, but like I hate X-Men, and I can still put together a dope. Like I find myself 2 in the morning, like I can't finish this video because I need this clip of Storm I saw with a watermark. I need it without the watermark, so like
Mhm.
it gets painstaking, but at the same time, like it just makes sure that the product is always my vision
Absolutely.
and not the next person's vision. So that's another reason I do it myself.
And that's super dope that you have that kind of like passion where it's just like you don't half-ass anything. Like you don't take any like shortcuts or
Right.
like cut corners or do anything like that. Like you genuinely, and just by talking to you, I can confirm that you genuinely like give 100%. Like you want everything to be a 100% reflection of you yourself and how you do things, and it's cool to see because like I said, it's just like it's almost like we're, and this is no, I'm not pointing out anybody, I'm just talking about like in a general sense where we're kind of like in an age where nobody wants to do that, go through all of that. They want to find
Yeah.
the quickest thing, like, oh, like this would be cooler, but I can get it done a lot faster if I do it this way. And so just being able to see like that you care so much, and not even, like I said, I know you probably prioritize your music, but to see you still want to give 100% in your AMVs, your art, and all that stuff as well. That's super dope
It's
to
that
hear.
intention, bro. Like I
Exactly.
feel like I got like even when I say things in music, like I feel like I have a certain intention with things, and like
Yep.
the only way to get the intention out is to take the time to see it. Like I mean, even like in my relationship, like I think like with my wife, I think like sometimes we get to talking and saying things in different settings and moments and stuff. Like not like arguing, but just
Yeah.
when you're around people, even with family, you're just around people you love in passing.
Yes,
Sometimes,
sir.
sometimes you're on your way to your room, you say some stuff, and y'all talk and make plans. It's like intent is everything. So like I make sure from my music and art down to my relationship or how I approach my daughter. It's like everything I do has intent, so because it's like with music, I want to make sure I'm convicted. I want you to know everything I say. I believe. I'm saying it with conviction. When I tell my
Mhm.
daughter to do something, I'm saying it with conviction.
Yes, sir.
When me and my wife make a decision, we do it with conviction. So it's like everything kind of translates that way for me, especially from art, even into my real life. It's just about again what my intention is and how I'm going about making sure it's seen. Even if I got to re-explain something to my daughter and wife, even if I got to redo a verse because I don't believe what
Hmm.
I'm saying, or I'm not convinced that it's a good song. It's just it's my intention. I think like that's what's more important to me. Like not only how I come off, but staying true to who I am too, and making sure yes I can be myself, but I don't got to be myself and step on the next person's toes either. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. And I completely, like I said, the amount of respect just by hearing it. Like I've always respected you, but just the respect after hearing all that is grown tenfold for you. Just being able to like I said, hear your perspective on how you like your approach and kind of like your thought process going into it, and that's kind of like why I like doing like these
it.
peep lounges, because it's like I can take like it's a win for whoever I get on here because it's like an additional platform, but I feel like I can learn something from a lot of these people, even though I'm not a musician, like I can take that kind of
Right.
mindset, but like do like try to like put conviction into everything I do and apply that to whatever I just happen to be doing, etc. So it's just like I said, big ups to you and
I mean, it's even
massive
like,
respect.
with Twitch too. Like with Twitch too, you see, like everything I do has like a theme, and like it's just being true to that. If you got an idea, just do that shit. Like
Absolutely.
even if it take 4 days and you want it done on the third, like you just got to take the 4 days. If you got an idea, desire, something that you want to build, and you know that you've got the materials for it, like I don't see why you shouldn't build it. Type shit.
Absolutely.
That's why I got my own VTuber, or that's why I have like merch and shit, or like I just was like I don't have it and I want it. Like I gotta find a way to put this shit in the air, babe.
You see that?
Look at my
Yeah.
dog. It's the one my wife got too. I got my Black Diamonds case in
Yes,
front of me
sir,
too on my
dude.
phone.
I copped it. Literally, you were there. I told you when I copped it, and it hasn't left my phone fucking since. Get you some Black Diamonds merch, by the way.
Appreciate you. Yeah, get you some fucking merch.
Get you some fucking merch, you
If
fucking
you can
losers.
post that clip like just when we both say it, and when I say that to bleep me out, it'll be funny as hell. And I'm gonna edit it and zoom into our faces. Get you some merch. Yeah, get you some beep merch. Excellent promo point.
But to kind of change up, change the pace up a little bit. Like I said, massive respect to you, and appreciate you opening up about that. But I got another Twitter question for you, and this one's a different change of pace. This one's gonna be a little different. This one is from Ultra Choppa, and
Okay, my dog.
he says, what is your
Dog
most
chop.
what are some of your influential animes or comfort animes?
Oh, that's such an easy question. My influential anime is definitely like shit like Hellsing. Like I know somebody called me out, was like, "Yo, I noticed there's a lot of Hellsing strung into some of your content." I'm like, "Yeah, unfortunately, you noticed it."
Mhm.
But my comfort anime, bro, an anime I've watched 100 times, is either between Death Note and Inuyasha. Like when
Okay.
I was growing up, I saw Soul Eater and all that when it came out,
Mhm.
and I watched a lot of the like anime that's like really goated. But I can honestly say like I could be editing, I could have the house to myself trying to write with background noise, and I would like find the middle of an Inuyasha episode and just start it somewhere. Or like Death Note, I've rewatched for like the fifth time recently
It's
in the
good.
last
It's a
like
good
three
show.
years. It's good to even have it on the background, bro. Like when you kind of having like a ADHD moment, like myself, you look around and you're like, oh shit, like that. I remember this scene, but then it helps me jump back in.
Yep.
I used to try to watch like anime while I edit too, because it's kind of like it
I
kind of hit
can't.
my senses different.
I can't. Like
Oh
it.
no, I'm not watching it like new episodes. I'm talking like rerun shit.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say
Yeah,
like
fuck that.
I was gonna be I can't concentrate for some reason. Literally, if I'm gaming, whether or doing anything else but editing, I can have something up, whatever. I can pay attention to it while doing that. But for some reason, whenever I'm editing, I can only be editing. I can't be doing anything. I can't listen to music. I can't be watching anything. I don't know if it's because like the double audio from like whatever I'm editing, and then I'm getting like, and it's just like overstimulus of different audios or whatever.
Yo, I edit AMVs faster when I'm in court talking to my friends. It's kind of crazy.
Really? All right.
Yeah, yo, when we're sitting there talking, I've gotten into a heated debate and looked up and like, oh my god, I'm done. Like on some shit,
Oh,
like,
dude, I
and
could
it's cause
never.
like it's the stimulation of like talking and kind of like I'm moving my hands and my eye, like, cause sometimes what I do, bro, I'm gonna tell you something, and like people don't believe me when I tell them this. Sometimes, like, I'm in my DAW all the time with
Yep.
music, and like, and I'm gonna keep it short so we can get to the questions.
Yep.
Sometimes I look at the waveforms of beats and songs, like especially when you extending and cutting beats and moving stuff around. I'm very versed in how waveforms look and when they spike and don't spike and things like that. So
Oh,
I
okay.
have been able to lay the lyrics down on an AMV first, and then use the lyrics and the waveforms to kind of use my AMV style. So like
Bro,
I've edited AMVs on silent before, and I hate that. And I'm not trying to flex. It's
that's
just it's something that I've
crazy,
realized that I've
brother.
been able to do. Because when you get the words and you kind of see how the waves jump, or like I separated like, all right, this the hook, and I know I heard the beat one time, so I know like this part is where the bass hit and where the bass start and finish.
That's
So I'm looking
wild.
at the waves and I'm laying like some of the punches to the waves and shit.
That's
It's weird, bro.
fucking
That's why I
wild.
don't think when people say like, "Yo, how do you edit?" or like, "What's your idea of editing?" I'm like, "Bro, my editing style comes from me blending four things into one. Like, I can't even. I've done it with audio. I've done it without. Cause I mean,
That's
to do it without
wild.
audio, I need the lyrics. But
Editing a music video without audio? This is like,
yeah, bro. Like
that's
you see the
crazy.
waveforms of the audio, and I'll be sitting here talking in Discord, and I'm using my eyes to read the lyrics, and I'm like, oh, I know what scene I could put there. But you see, I use intricate cuts in my shit. I do the intricate
That
cuts on those parts.
this motherfucker just blowing my mind even more. Like I already knew this motherfucker was talented, but this motherfucker just blowing my fucking mind now. What the fuck? God
But
damn.
to go back to the question, my comfort animes and inspiration animes definitely Death Note, Hellsing, and Inuyasha for sure.
I haven't seen I haven't seen Hellsing or Inuyasha. I've been told about Inuyasha that I need to watch Inuyasha, and then somebody told me if I'm gonna get into Hellsing, I gotta watch the abridged version. Um
Yeah.
and so I definitely need to get caught up because here's the thing too. I'm considered like a weeb, but like the amount of different animes that I've seen is not very high. I've only seen like 50 different
Yo.
animes, and some of them are completely obscure, and some of them are the most popular ones that you ever seen. I'm more of like a manga reader now, anyways. I'm more of a reader, and I read mangas more than anything now. Um,
Same, brother. I love reading manga.
I collect
Reading
I
manga is
collect
like
manga. I collect the shit. I got
I
like
used to grab the Shonen Jumps, bro.
yes
Like
sir,
from Walmart and shit.
yes sir. But another question, and this kind of falls along the line of the last question that we just asked. But this one comes from Laszlo 1K. Another smaller artist within the community, and he says top 5 animes that he likes making references for.
Oh damn. Um One Piece for sure.
Of
That's
course, yep.
like it's like my number one. Sometimes I gotta change my verses because I start talking about that fucking shit, and I'm like, all right, wait. So One Piece for sure. That's like one of my favorite references.
Yes sir. That's
Honestly, like me personally, I just like another reason goes back to the gotcha games. Like I love swords and shit. Like that's I
yep.
think out of every power and skill in anime, like any anime with either like a sword wielding fucking woman or like just like a sword wielding character that's just nasty with a sword,
Yep.
crazy. So like One Piece for sure. I guess the second one I want to say like Samurai Champloo. I don't exactly make the references to the show, but whenever I talk about the blade styles and the
Yep.
uniqueness to blades and like I get intricate with blade imagery, I'm usually thinking about Samurai Champloo
Oh, okay, gotcha,
just to
gotcha. Makes
kind of
sense.
sell
Makes
it a
sense.
little more.
Yep.
Jujutsu Kaisen for sure.
Of
I
course.
love referencing that shit. And I mean it's just cuz it's so intricate. That's a good one.
Yep.
So what was that One Piece, Jujutsu, Samurai Champloo? Shit, that is a good question.
If you don't have 5, that's
Oh,
perfectly okay.
definitely Hunter x Hunter too. I
Oh,
love Hunter x Hunter.
yep. You got to put Hunter x Hunter in
And
that.
not even because Fifth Chain, just because like I think I was able to make Fifth Chain reference like that song a great song because I like the system of Nen. So like I fuck with that. That's one I
One of
really
the
like
better power
making
systems in
references
Shonen, I
to.
would say, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then for some reason all my Dragon Ball Z verses are tens. Like
Absolutely.
I don't know how, like I just like I don't mean to gloat or nothing. I'm just saying like every time I write a DBZ verse, I'm very satisfied. I don't usually question it. I'm like, oh shit, this one go here, this go. It's like a puzzle, bro. It just come off easy for some reason. So, DBZ, One Piece, Samurai Champloo, um, I said them.
Oh, okay.
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter, and then Dragon Ball. Did you say Dragon Ball?
Yep, DBZ. There we go.
Perfect. Perfect. There you go, Laszlo. And then this one comes from another person named Misty. Uh,
Okay.
and they ask, How he get so swaggy?
Bro,
Where'd you get the
to be
swag?
honest,
Where'd you get
bro,
the
it
swag
came.
from, sir?
I get the swag from being myself. I don't know, like,
See, I get
nah,
it
bro,
from
like,
Walmart, but that's just me.
I'm dying, I'm dying,
I got that Walmart
bro.
swag,
I feel like swag goes into intent. You know,
of
like
course.
how you come across, and not only that, I feel like swag could come from being aware of yourself too.
Mhm.
You know, and being aware of who you are, and knowing that you can be the shit, but you're not shit. You know.
Of course, of course,
So
of
I
course.
think like my swagger comes from that. It comes from a level of confidence where like I am good where I am, and I know I got room to grow. So like I got like a humble confidence to me, a
There's-
very aware level of confidence. So I think that's where
Yep,
my swagger come from. Just and how I deliver in my songs. You know, it comes from a very like very aware
yep.
point of view
Hmm.
of where I am or like what material I'm diving into. I'm very like we could talk about Naruto Sasuke like best friends, rivals, or
Hmm.
we could talk about like I did this Sasuke song and it was more so like from his point of view, all the things and the ties that he severed and the things that he shouldered. Like, you know, it's almost like you get embarrassed and you like, damn, everybody gonna hear about this tomorrow. You know, I kind of want to dive into that aspect of Sasuke versus this.
Hmm.
You thought your brother was evil, but he was cool. It was like, all right, let's make a song about what happened after that with
Yep,
Sasuke.
yep. That's super dope, and it's almost like being having like almost like a swagger kind of personality, like having like a swagger about yourself. It's almost like a mindset thing, where it's just like if it's it's like it's a mentality kind of like how you approach certain aspects of whatever you're doing, and that having confidence, something that I don't have. And I'm kidding. But I will say though, you definitely kind of carry, like, and I always say this in like your reactions where you just always got that like you're not like, it's like that, like I almost like to say it like a humble kind of swagger where you're just like, you're not in like people's faces, and you're not gonna get into like people's faces and like aggressive or anything, but it's just like you got that like low key kind of calm swagger, and kind of almost like a laid back kind of swagger to you, where it's just like that, it's just like that, just like confidence, just like you said, not in anybody's face, you're kind of just doing your own thing, but it's just you still carry yourself with like a swagger, kind of like confidence. And I've always kind of appreciated that about you, where it's just like you kind of can show that you can kind of carry yourself a certain way without having to like get in people's
Like
face.
step on the next
Yeah,
person toes,
exactly,
honestly.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
And so
exactly.
like that's why I said it's like a humble confidence. Like I could speak my truths because I know it's like a me thing. Like
Hmm.
I've been here, I've experienced this, or like I have enough knowledge on this to speak on it type shit. You know, it's like and I speak it very clearly. Like in my songs I feel like too, like I don't even put the song on dog like on platforms and shit or export it from the dog unless like I'm convinced. Like it's almost like I expect like you and somebody else to listen to it.
Hmm.
And if I ain't convinced, I don't know how I'm gonna convince the next person. So just intense swagger and that humble confidence, that's where I get it from.
That's a W.
And
That's a
speaking
W.
my truths like effortlessly, unapologetically.
That's so dope, man. And like I said, just to see how like down to earth and kind of just like I said, it's just like you you carry yourself in such a manner, and yet you just like you don't step on anybody's toes, you're not in anybody's face, and it's just like
Right.
it's respectable, and it's something that I feel like a lot of people can kind of look at and kind of model themselves. uh
That's why it's hard to like kind of be in I won't even say competitive spaces. I would say it's hard to like put my energy into competition
mhm,
because the music's such a fulfilling thing and it's like such a it feels so good when you got like a really solid song you put together because the doll is empty when you open it, you
mhm.
know, you kind of painting that picture. So
Yep.
I feel like that feeling is way more fulfilling than knowing that you getting one up on the next person with it or like when you involve. That's why like sometimes I talk my shit, but like even with rap beef, it's like I respect it a lot. I respect penning. That's how I started. I started with fucking petty beef,
Yep.
but over the time appreciating music, it's like damn, it's better to know that I spent my free time penning the best thing I ever could think of than to think about the next motherfucker and to put the next motherfucker in my song or the next motherfucker to think about. And of course, I do speak my truths in my song,
Yep.
but at the same time, I make it a point like if I'm writing too much about a topic, I won't even put this shit out. I'm just like I don't want to stand behind it. I don't want to be behind. He was in the studio writing about him for 6 minutes straight. Like nah, bro, I don't got free time like that.
Yeah, you're just gonna do your own thing, and uh, you're just gonna put your head down and grind. And like I said, it's just I respect that. I respect that
I
about
want
you.
more. I feel like I just want more out of music
Of course,
than
of course,
that.
of course, of
You know,
course,
than that one up feeling.
dude. And that's completely respectable. And I, like I said, I respect the hell out of that kind of mindset and that mentality that you got going on. And I try my best to kind of act like the same way. Um, and I kind of try to model myself. It's just like I try not to step on anybody's toes. I try to carry myself in a certain way. And so, but like I said, it's just like I said, it's just like I respect the hell out of you for that because like I said, I feel like a lot of people can. I feel like a lot of people, can look at that and kind of model themselves after that kind of mentality and that kind of mindset. So big ups to you on that. Big ups to you. Major props.
I appreciate it.
Major props. I got a couple more here. This one comes from at Ashley's Anger on Twitter, and they ask, and I'm gonna I'm gonna rephrase this a little bit. But do you have a least favorite song you made, and if so, what is it?
Oh man, that's a good one. Like my least favorite song.
Yes, sir.
Are we talking of all time or maybe nerdcore?
I guess it could be of all time. They didn't specify.
Oh man. Honestly, bro, anything I'll say this much. Maybe anything up into a year prior to pre-nerdcore, I don't really fuck with. And it's not even the subject matter. I love all my music because it's like my babies.
Yep.
But the quality wasn't there. And I feel like I was
Yep.
getting close to what I'm doing now. And I just never had the quality. So, like, I guess anything before, like, the quality started really becoming a factor. But
Um.
if we talking like,
Oh.
if we talking like nerdcore songs, like, I don't know. I don't. Damn, that's
It's
a
crazy
great
because
question.
you got some heaters, so
Like
I'm
even
kind of
on
curious
songs that
where.
like, I guess like even songs that I wasn't very like, I won't even say I wasn't invested in. I want to just say like songs I wasn't like, didn't know what the fuck I was doing there. Like some of the cipher verses, like I honestly say, I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna just do me.
Yeah.
But even those have become some favorites. That's a good question. I don't know if I have a least favorite song.
Mhm.
I'm about to scroll through Spotify real quick. Hold up.
He's like, let me refresh on all the songs that I've
Oh, I
made.
have a least favorite song, and it has nothing to do with the song and everything to do with the quality. I feel like I had like a semi decent verse on the Delinquent cipher that Breton and them did,
The
but I
what
feel like
cipher?
the qual it was I think it was the Delinquent cipher. Like we all
Delinquent
did, and I
cipher.
was like Jotaro on this one cipher with
I can't
Breton and them.
say that I'm familiar with it.
Let me see.
I'm gonna have to peep it now. I'm gonna look this stuff up right now.
Was it a Delinquent cipher? Yeah, Anime Delinquents rap. It's on Breton Boys page. It's called New Age Yakuza.
Oh, okay. I've seen the thumbnail before. I've never actually like clicked it. Okay, okay, I've seen this around, but I've never actually heard it. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
So basically, the New Age, the New Age Yakuza verse. I do not like the quality on the verse. No shade to anybody, because I don't even know who engineered it. I just like I thought it was a really good verse. It's just the quality don't hit. So when my verse comes on, it hits like booty. And then that song has 1.3 million views. So 1.3 million people just heard me and just was like, "Oh, okay," because the quality sucked, and I hate that verse because of it.
Oh, yeah, and I feel like a lot, and it's just like it's kind of because when I was getting ready to ask that question, um, I hear a lot, especially now, in the position where I'm at, where I interact a lot more with artists. is hearing them. It's just like there's always like a certain point. It seems like with a lot of people's music where it's just like, oh, anything pre like 2021 or whatever is they just consider it all bad for whatever reason. And
Because it probably wasn't what we were going for.
it was just like, well, because I feel like too it was just especially in nerdcore where just like people drop music at just at a fat quick rate, like bi-weekly, tri-weekly, once a month, whatever the rate. So it's like they're constantly making new music, and so they're constantly getting better and better to the point where in 1 year's time they improve so much that if you listen to a song from a year ago, it's like a completely different person, like entirely, just because they've
Right.
developed and just gotten so much better in that time frame where it's just like it feels like there's always like that cutoff where it's like, oh, anything pre this time they just consider it all terrible. So I was kind of curious if you kind of had that kind of same mindset where just like anything pre 2020 would you considered bad or
Honestly, yeah. Maybe, well, no. Maybe everything like pre 2017. Because I
2017.
feel like 2017, I started really like pushing. But like when I first moved to, like, I moved to Florida in like 2013. So like since then, I kind of was already like had a sound, already was kind of making music, but it was kind of slower.
Hmm.
And I was kind of coming up on like a bouncy flow that I wanted to use and using like faster, more techie flows. But like, I feel like anything before like 2017, cause nah,
Bet. um
damn, no, I don't think that. I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry. I love them all. I think about it. They all play a part.
because here's the thing too, like those songs that you're referring to, they're also, if it wasn't for those songs you wouldn't be the artist that you are today too, so you kind of got to look back
That's
at.
why I
So it's
can't
just
like turn my back on them like that. Cause
it's
I
like
think
that
about
journey.
some bad quality shit with like some really good verse on it, you know. And I'm like, nah, it wasn't bad at all.
Yep. And it's just like I'm the same way where I look back at some like the first videos that I ever did, and I acknowledge that they're bad, but I wouldn't get rid of them to change or to save my life, because if it wasn't for those videos, I wouldn't be in the spot that I am now. So it's just like, yeah, I recognize they're kind of bad, but I'll never say think of them as like, oh, they're my least favorite or whatever, because I recognize the fact that like, and a lot of people, like I said too, we all develop over time where it's just like we know the stuff that we do starting out and in the earlier part of whatever we're doing, the earlier stages,
Right.
it's not going to be as up to par as what we're trying to get it to be. But it's just all about that journey to where you want to be. And if you gotta have to a little brief period where um you might not be, like I said, you might not be up to par, then so be it, because it's that journey that journey to get to that whatever your end goal just happens to be. So it's like I can never look back at those videos and be like, okay, yeah, no, I hate these or whatever, blah blah blah, because they're the reason why I'm sitting here in this spot talking to you right now. So I feel it, and I respect that mentality.
Thank
Um,
you, bro. I appreciate that.
of course, of course. And then this one, and I apologize, but we can kind of do these in like a rapid fire, kind of sense.
Yeah,
But
that's cool.
because this one person submitted 5 questions, and you're well aware of this person. This comes from I am Azazis. Azazis.
Ah, my
Submit.
dog, Azazus.
But his first question:
That's cool.
what are your top 5 favorite artists in the genre listening to this year?
In Nerdcore?
He said top 5 artists in the genre. So is it the nerdcore genre? I'm assuming.
Damn.
Do you be listening to nerdcore?
I do when I can, like when I want to catch some of the songs, but like I'm weird. I'll say this much: I don't like particularly listening to newer music all the time
Mhm.
because I don't want to be inspired in any way. Like, and I don't want to say like that. Like, I do appreciate music. I listen to music, but sometimes I shy away from it so I can stay fresh, you know. But when I do listen to music, honestly, I tell everybody I'm very vocal. My favorite rapper is Delta. I don't know a lot of
Yes,
people that
sir.
can rap better than him.
Dude,
Like, and
Delta, go.
singing aside, he could rap his ass off.
Dude, and that's 100%. I feel like Delta's one of those people. I feel like it's highly overlooked. Like he's super talented, and it's just like I just feel like he just doesn't get enough eyes on him. And he
I
gets a
think
ton of
because
eyes
people
on
don't
him,
know
but
how
it's
to
still not
receive
enough.
the singing, but it's because like I don't know. I don't know what people
Yeah,
like. It's just it's a different taste, and like, but when you hear him sing too, it's like it's different. It's so
yes, sir.
hard not to acknowledge that like the words really matter what he's saying, and they
Yep.
really can hit you and they profound. So like I think like the five people I'm listening to, Dav, Delta, Slick. I listen to Peso for sure, and
Yes,
then I
sir.
listen to damn. I listen to Mick. Well, Mick Jenkins isn't like he's not in the genre. So just to keep it in the genre. Oh, I listen to Dizzy too.
Oh, Dizzy. Yep.
Dizzy's fucking fire.
Yes, sir. Those are all dope artists. You listed out some dope artists on that list, and we got some otaku underworld representation in there as well. Like I said, all those artists that you named, all completely incredible in their own right. They all bring something like unique and different to the table. But to keep the ball rolling, the next question he asked, what does he feel he can improve on music wise?
What can I improve on music wise? Let's see. I want to say hooks. I feel like I'm very quick to rush through a hook because I don't like doing them and coming up with chanty things. I feel like sometimes I break my head over hooks and like at one point people called me the hook god and I was like, I don't think y'all understand how hard it is for me. Like I can really get through a verse in 10 minutes and that hook would take me a week. You know what I mean?
Really? I feel like a lot of
Like
people
yeah,
like the
especially
hook
cuz
comes to people a lot
I
natural.
know how important. Like, look at it this way. Like, I look at it from a consumer standpoint. I know to hook the songs before I know the verses all
Mhm.
the time.
Yep.
So I put a lot of emphasis on that hook.
That's dope, and that's crazy because the hooks that I hear from you are always like I always kind of dig your hooks, whatever. But I didn't realize that you kind of spend so much
I
time on.
personally think I struggle on hooks. Like, and even though they sound good, it's because I put my mind to them a little more.
Mhm.
The verses just come to me, but the hooks, like my brain won't write something bad. It's like I sit there and I'm starting to write something, and it starts to not sound chanty or it's not even sounding catchy or fun to me, and I won't. I'll delete it and wait.
That's crazy. I didn't. I feel like a lot of artists they kind of the hook is kind of like their foundation, where it's just like they come up with the hook and then they structure and they can come up with the hook easy, and then they structure the verses obviously around the hook. So that's
I
super.
usually try to make a catchy hook off of what I'm already writing.
Gotcha,
That's why,
gotcha.
like, if you ever are listening to my songs, I hate to put the science behind it, so because you're gonna think about it next time. But like a lot of my songs start with a verse.
Gotcha.
I don't typically start with a hook, and if I did start with the hook, it's probably the first thing I thought of.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
gotcha, gotcha,
I
gotcha,
try to go with my first thought.
gotcha. And then this, he also in kind of the exact opposite. He says, "What do you feel like you excel the best music wise?"
My flow, I think my flow is
Yes,
fucking
yes,
destructive.
absolutely. And
I think that
I
shit
can't
is crazy. Like
agree
so, I sometimes
more.
like even I'll tell you one thing too. I listen back and it don't even sound like me half the time. Like that whole down with the sickness, down with a click that get you down with a quickness. I
Hey,
couldn't even tell you where I got that from. It
you
just
just be
made
pulling those
sense
bitches out, bro. You
in
just
that
be,
count. And like I think my flow is disgusting. I
dude.
think
You
I have
you
a
got some
real
of the
crazy
catchiest flows.
ear.
I
I
will
appreciate that,
I will
bro.
say
I
though,
think I got a
I can,
crazy ear around beats. Like I hear counts different.
and it's just like I can always find myself uh kind of whenever I'm listening to like a Black Diamonds track, kind of like kind of get into like the flow, whatever, and like rapping along to it, blah blah blah. But it's just like you always got these like catchy flows that I always just like get stuck in my head, and that's one of the things I always appreciate about your music in particular, where I just feel like you always approach the whatever the production happens to be the beat. You always approach it in such a unique and different way, but you also manage to keep it catchy and just you're just so silky smooth with it. And so
I appreciate that, bro.
I couldn't agree more with the in terms of the flow beat, like the way you flow on a beat, what you do excel at. And then this next question, your dream mainstream collab. Who's mainstream right now that you throw it out there in the universe? Maybe they'll watch this by some chance.
Shit, I would love to collab with either Mick Jenkins or this band called Bad Bad Not Good.
I don't think I've heard of any of those two people,
So
or I
Mick
guess the band or the.
Jenkins, he makes like neo soul rap music. I fucking love his music, and I think he can write his ass off. That dude is solid as fuck. I love his
Mick
music.
Jenkins.
Yeah,
I have to,
Mick and then Jenkins. And then like he even it's crazy too because like I guess I listen to artists that kind of like rap and do things like in the same realm as
mhm.
me. So like when I heard him, his beat selection and all that just reminded me of my own. So like I was just like I fuck with this dude and I fuck with his pen and like all the shit that he be doing like over beat is crazy. Mick Jenkins is one, and then I have to split it up actually into three because Tyler the Creator is definitely somebody
Oh,
I gotta.
dude, you
I
and
would
Tyler would go
love.
crazy.
I think we would make a crazy ass song. And then Tia Corinne too. Recently, I've been hearing some of her anime music, and it's real unorthodox. And I feel like me and her could make a crazy ass
Hell
song,
yeah,
like an
dude.
unorthodox, like good flow, hyphy song. Like I think those three are my three mainstream collab choices right there.
Bet. So you heard it here first, guys. If you have any contact with these people, put
Find them
put
for
put
me.
put black on for.
Put me on. I'm your guy.
And then this will be the last question that I ask you. Um,
Okay.
and this one comes from another talented rapper in the community, Drain. He asks,
Drain.
what hobbies do you have outside of editing and music? You kind of touched on this earlier, where you kind of just kind of always just doing art. You're
Yeah,
always
it's
doing
like
some sort of
art, gotcha games. Shit, I'll give you one weird one. Building things. I don't know. Like when I'll
building.
order them, bro. Like I'll order them little shits, like them kits off of Amazon and shit, like them shelves and stuff. I'll be in here building. Like I'll literally like smoke, put a show on, get me like some good ass lemonade and shit here and build some shit. Like I'll build a shelf, bro. I'll build anything from scratch. Like I like that shit.
No,
Tinkering and shit.
because I have to ask this because this I'm not gonna go into details. This was a you had to be there moment, but I have to ask this because
Okay.
before we went officially recorded. Do you read the instructions?
Yes, but let me
Okay.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. I do get to a point where it starts to make sense and I put them shits down and I always just come out with the shit done. So I
Oh,
do read those instructions, but
I was gonna say because from what I heard earlier, I'm assuming you probably do not read the instructions.
maybe not game instructions though, but definitely like hobbies, like definitely. I mean, I'm a husband and a dad, so like some of my favorite things too. I love chilling. Me and my wife just like kick it sometimes, and
Hell
we
yeah.
talk, we watch scary movies. I think one crackhead thing that we do, we watch and fall asleep on like scary movies and like I don't know if you know Chills the YouTuber, but for a year straight we watched Chills and Slapped Ham
What the
like
hell?
every night, and they go over like the top 10 freakiest scary shit ever, and me and her just be like,
Oh, is
oh,
that what that
oh, that's crazy.
is that the
Oh, I'm
name of that
falling
channel?
asleep.
Chills?
Chills,
Is it like the top 10
chills.
scariest things caught on like camera or
Yeah,
some
he's
shit?
always like number five,
That
the scariest thing that you can ever see.
yeah, okay, I know exactly.
Number
I never knew his name,
seven.
but I knew exactly who you're talking about. Okay.
Then there's another guy that does it, and he's called Slapped Ham. And so like we used to fall asleep like Slapped Ham shit, like.
That's
But just
crazy.
the paranormal, scary investigation shit, like that's our shit, bro. Like we dive into that.
That's wild. I mean, I'm kind of the same way because I'm kind of because I can fall asleep to anything. Like it's weird. Like I could fall asleep watching the most like chaotic or just random shit. Is and here's the thing. I've gotten to the point, and I don't know if you're the same way, but I can't fall asleep unless I have something playing. Like something has to be playing in the background
I
for me
fall
to fall
asleep
asleep.
faster, I guess, when something playing. But
I
like
don't know
I
what
can
it
fall asleep
is.
for sure. I kind of need silence sometimes too. Like, and
I
I'm the one that be moving the most too in the bed. So like I be contradicting what I need, but I be needing it.
Oh, that's dope. But Black Diamonds. That is all that I have for you cooked up here. So what I like to
I
normally
appreciate you, bro.
yeah, what I like to normally do is I like to take some time, tell us what you got going on, where to find you, where any projects you got working on, any future songs. Tell us
Yes,
about yourself.
yes,
Let us
yes.
know.
Okay, so you can find me everywhere at Black Diamonds. If you look at the bottom left corner, it is backwards, but you can look every you can you see it. But now you can
Yeah.
find me on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch,
Yes, sir.
TikTok, anywhere that you can search my name, it'll come up on everything because I
Yes,
spell
sir.
it that way: Blvkdivmonds.
Yes,
You
sir.
spell my name ain't no C.
We don't
Put
need no
them
C's
A's
over
and the
here.
V's, no C's at all. As far as projects coming up, I'm dropping Dead Deputy on June 8th, which is a Honkai song.
Let's
And
go represent.
I'm actually finally concerned with making projects. So I'm actually working on two at the same time. I'm working on Diamond Unbreakable, which is my own personal project where like I'm kind of diving into themes and different animes and stuff and kind of just having fun making like 10 really cohesive like good songs,
Yes, sir.
that like go together. And then the second project, me and Delta have finally taken off on DZ Diamonds, and I think we're at
Yes,
like
sir.
song 9, and we're gonna make like a batch of songs and kind of pick the best ones out of them that we like the most. But
I
we've
can't
definitely got
wait
a
to hear
bunch.
that. I can't wait to hear that. That shit's gonna feed the streets for eons.
It's definitely gonna feed the streets, bro. And then, not for nothing, we've been working on a lot of posse cuts too. So I got this song called "Bats We Trust,"
Mhm.
and just know Otaku Underworld. In the midst of us dropping our own stuff, we about to definitely start dropping more posse cuts because
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know why we just got synergy out of nowhere. It's crazy when we link up. It's electric every time. So look
Yes,
out
sir.
for more Otaku Underworld collabs. Look out for Diamond Unbreakable. Look out for DZ Diamonds, and just look out for these singles I cook out. Cause sometimes I get an idea and it might jump in front of everything. So I don't wanna put them on nothing too crazy.
Absolutely. And like for anybody who's watching this, who's not necessarily a fan, or not necessarily, I'm not saying not necessarily, who's not necessarily familiar with Black Diamonds, I highly recommend you give him a chance and go check out his catalog because dude's incredible musician. And he's one of my favorites for sure. Just overall listening. If you need any sort of vibe, he's got you. So I'm gonna need you guys to check out every single song in his catalog, and then check
Every
out
song, every
every single one,
video,
every single fucking one. And
every
I'm watching
artwork.
you. I'm fucking
We
watching you.
watching. We
Uh,
watching
uh,
you. We see you. We
but
watching you. You best believe we watching.
exactly. So we know exactly if you don't listen to every single track, just know that we know and we're watching. Do with that information as you will. But no, for real, guys, go check Black Diamonds out on all platforms. Go show him some
Check
love.
me out. Check me out. I'm
Um,
here. Show me love,
of
please.
course, and Black again. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to hop on the Peep Lounge. I feel like this was a very good conversation. I learned a lot of stuff and
I
about
appreciate you,
how
man.
you approach things and stuff like that. So I appreciate you opening up about that kind of stuff, and I hope you had a good time on the Peep Lounge as well. But
Appreciate you, bro. I
but
definitely did. I fucks with the people now. I just need the Genshin slander to stop. I actually came on the
anyways,
Peep Lounge. I actually came on the Peep Lounge to tell you you're gonna have to tee up next time you see me because you slandered your last Genshin.
wait, you're gonna be at NPC, right? Are you gonna be at NPC?
Bro, yeah, I'm definitely planning to be there. I
Let's
just gotta
go.
move some
That
stuff around and
that
make sure
Black
my bills
Diamonds
handled.
that Black Diamonds Dean meetup is gonna be crazy. And
Yeah,
it
we
might be
gonna
the
be
last
throwing
time you guys
hands
see
like a
me too.
motherfucking gum Gatlin in this.
Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy.
It's like,
I'm a lot more meaner than I look. I'm kidding. That's a lie. But no. But for real, like I said, Black Diamonds. Thank you so much for being a part of this, guys. Let me know.
appreciate you, bro.
Let me know down below who do you guys want to see get on a future episode of the Peep Lounge? I'll try to make that happen. Let me know. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for checking out the Peep Lounge episode 12 with mother effing Black Diamonds.
Episode 12.
In the
Thank
flesh.
y'all so much.
With that being said, make sure you guys are
each and every one of y'all.
Absolutely. Don't get it twisted. So with that being said, guys, stay safe. Take care of yourself. Tell a loved one that you love them, because at the end of the day, you just never know. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace.